Alright, so I'm Ken Mondschein, and this is my student John Linscott. John is a C-rated foilist and A-rated FAS, which in sport fencing land means he's really, really, really good. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you a little, I'm going to talk about right away, right? This sport fencing concept, what is it, and what does it mean for historical fencing, and why it shouldn't be so anathema an idea. Because what I'm looking at here is I'm not looking at technique, but I'm looking at the concept. I'm looking at this conception. At its simplest, right, I'm going to give John a little lesson here. At its simplest, right of way is this. We both in frame?
Correct.
Okay. So I attack John. John must parry that and repost before he can repost me, right? Now counterattack, and we'll both counterattack. If I do this, John, I start my attack forwards. John simply responded with the attack of his own, and it's two dead idiots, right? And this should be familiar to any longsword fencer, any rapier fencer. You have the duty to defend. You have to defend yourself. You just can't simply counterattack. We saw this when people started introducing afterblow rules, and people were gaming it really, really, really badly. And I don't think there's anything controversial in that. What that becomes, though, in sport fencing is this. So just do a little quick parry, and we'll both hit, right? He goes there. He didn't really defend himself there, right? There was this sort of theoretical click. And that's really kind of what sport fencing becomes. It becomes this, a symbolic parry, a very theoretical parry. But I want to maybe make the argument here that even that is a valuable teaching tool and something that's very fundamental to swordsmanship, real swordsmanship. Because let's think now, let's go back to the German sources, and let's think about the Vor and the Nach. If I try to find John's blade with my parry, and he evades it and hits, right? Again, do it in tempo, simple and direct. Yes. He is, by definition, in the Vor, right? So he starts his extension, and he avoids it, right? If, on the other hand, I find his blade, and he's lost the Vor, right? He's lost his tempo. And what this becomes, it's like, so what we have here is, right? We have here for fencing this piece, it's like naturalistic art, right? It's like 19th century realistic art, or naturalistic art, I should say, right? Courbet, the realist school. It's social realism, but also it's painting real things. And then it kind of becomes this modern art where it becomes sort of an abstraction. So a sport fencing phrase looks kind of like this. Take a couple steps back, and let's just do a marching attack. What?
I don't know if it's still being framed.
Are we still in frame?
You step forward a little bit.
Yeah.
They're like half out.
So we just do a little marching attack, right? So, and it goes, that's right. Right. So that was actually a pretty advanced thing. That was my false counterattack, right? And John's like, oh, I'm going to finish, right? And then I parried. Right? My false counterattack draws John's finish because, right, he's got the right of way. He's protected by that invisible shield. So I force him to finish, and I parry that and try my repost, and John makes a parry counter repost. Come a little closer. So it can reach these depths of abstraction, and it's really fascinating in its own right. But it's based in these couple of martial realities, right? This idea that if you're attacking, you need to keep the Vor and avoid the other guy's blade. And it's ultimately based on this idea that you need to defend yourself, right? But then again, of course, it gets really, really, really abstracted. I hope this has helped you understand exactly what sport fencing does a little bit better. And I hope that you can realize that the theory, right, the theory involved is still valuable if you apply it to HEMA, even if the application gets a little abstruse. So, thanks.